The tip this week is about how to read your work and the smooth and the bumpy side of the cast on. This is something a lot of people never even think about, as I realized when I was teaching class this week, and so I've decided to talk about it. When you use the long tail cast on, which is more or less the standard cast on that vast majority of people use, it produces your first row of stitches. And if I look at it, I've got a smooth line here, and if I flip it over on the other side, I have things that are bumpy. Looks like a row of reverse stockinette. I have to decide when I work the next row whether I want this to be on my right side or I want this to be on my right side. And it really doesn't matter which one I pick, it's a matter of personal preference, but I need to be consistent, particularly if I'm knitting sleeves or the front and back of a sweater. Now, how do I make that determination? Well, how I think of it is my cast on is actually row 1, and I'm going to think of that as my right side row. Row 1 is my right side. So if I turn it over, I'm actually working row 2, which is my wrong side row. And this is the assumption that I want the smooth side to be on the right side, or the public side of the work. And I have my first row, and notice that I have my knit stitches and I have the smooth side of the cast on. That's because I considered my first row as actually my second row, because my cast on was my first row, and it's bumpy and consistent. Now let's say I want it the other way around. I want the bumpy side to be the public side. I've got my first row here, and so what I do is I work as if this is my right side row. I've got my purl bumps here. I just start to knit. Okay, and I'll work another row because it'll be a little clearer to see. Now, is there a rule that says one is right and one is wrong? No. It's pretty much what you want, and if you're working ribbing, doesn't matter so much anyway, except in my blog I'll have an example of that so you can see what it looks like. Now notice that I have my purl bumps at the bottom of my knit stitches, which in this case will say that this is my right side, and I have this edging at the bottom. Is it bad? No, it's different. You just want to be consistent. And on this side, my purl side, I have the smooth edge. The blog will also go into reading your work, and by that it means being able to tell the cast on edge from the bind off edge.